So two new spinning reel models.
2 new spinning reels.
Added to the Abu Revo spinning lineup.
Yes, super excited, super stoked. Designed basically from the ground up.
Okay.
You know, they started over, and I'll tell you a little bit about the mentality, the thinking that was in behind this is Abu builds some of the most amazing bait casters in the world. And what could you take from that bait casting world and convert it to the spinning world? You know, it was always a big difference. If you look at casting versus spinning, spinning would kind of by default be degraded a little bit. And now the thought was, let's make a spinning reel, let's make a Revo spinning reel as good as a Revo bait caster, make it the best spinning reel in the world. That was the mindset behind it. I'm a finesse guy, so this is got a big place in my fishing. Big place. Super excited about it. Yeah, component-wise, I mean, they're using technology. You've got the MGX in your hand.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of carbon fiber.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, a lot of carbon fiber components. I'm not real techie, but I can tell you carbon fiber means a lot of lightness. Here's another one that you know, you feel that thing. It's crazy, right? Yeah. Everything's tooled out, right? So, you know, if you look at the MGX, if you look at the Revo, you're going to see a lot of skeletal aspects to it, right? And everywhere that it's got these skeletal components, again, it's lightening the frame. It's making that spinning reel disappear. That's what you want. I'm holding that spinning reel. I want it to disappear in my hand. I want it to feel like it's become an extension of my body. That's the ultimate in a spinning reel. That's the ultimate.
And question.
Yes.
You've been obviously fishing with these for testing them out and stuff.
Testing them out. Yeah.
Now, some guys may have concern with the carbon fiber breaking.
Yep.
Anything like that? Any kind of problems? Anything?
Not normal use. You know, if you're like me, I'm hard on everything. So I could break titanium in half. But no, in general, these things are well built. Here's the other thing I want to talk to you about.
I love this.
Gear ratio. Gear ratio. Normal gear ratio on a spinning reel, you know what it is. It's always in the 5s.
Yeah,
right?
slow.
5 to 1, 4 to 9, 5 to 3, 6, 2 to 1 gear ratio on a spinning reel. Unheard of, right? We were always limited. Throwing a shaky head, you feel like it takes forever. Dude, now I can fish a bait fast. I could set the hook and get that line recovery, just like a casting reel. Another super feature, the surface area on the drag. And I don't have the specs on it, but you know, problem with spinning reel for years is you'd go from none to a lot in a quarter turn. Here we've got a huge window of finding that perfect drag. And real quick, let me tell you, this is my tip on how I set the drag on spinning reel. This is really cool, right? So before I make my cast, I want to pull the line out from here, right from the reel, and I want to set it so that when I pull on it, it's just barely coming out, right? I want to get it to like where I pull on it, just barely comes. Now I'm ready to fish. I make my cast, fishing a shaky head, a drop shot, whatever it is. I get the bite, I set the hook. Once I hook that fish, if I think it's a big fish, in my mind, all I do is automatically go to the drag, quarter turn back, and now I've got enough drag that if that fish fights at the boat, that drag is going to go and I'm going to land that fish. Even on light line, 6 and 4 pound test. So just a little tip on how I set my drag.
Yeah, but traditionally, you want the drag a little bit looser on a spinning, right?
You know, it's preference. It's preference. Just like guys will back reel. Some guys use no drag and they back reel. It's all preference. For me, when I set that hook, right, especially if it's mono or fluorocarbon, I don't want that drag spinning out on the hook set, right? Especially a shaky head. Shaky head, big single hook. You got to drive it home. I don't want to set the hook and it goes zzz on the hook set. I don't want that.
Right.
I want to set the hook. I want that hook to penetrate. But I know if I go a quarter turn back, when I get him under the boat and he goes zzz, then it'll go. But it's preference, right? It's like color. It's like anything else. It's a little preference. But that's the system that I use. And I've caught big ones with it. Caught fish up to 9 pounds using that system.
Wow.
It's a good technique.
Retail. Do you know the retail prices?
I don't know it offhand, but it's reasonable.
Some, a little bit more.
Yeah, MGX top of the line. The Premier a little below it, but both of these are great reels. So, a lot of gear ratio, a lot of ball bearings, 12 ball bearings in these
that's
reels.
a lot, yeah.
It's amazing. It becomes part of your hand. It becomes an extension of you.
I can tell you, just when I go like that, but the Abu stuff is always lighter than all the other competitors. They've always been a lot lighter than everything.
Very light, very fluid.
But you don't feel that wobble.
No wobble.
It's
balance
I don't know
reel.
if it's the carbon fiber, but it just, you don't feel like you do on some other.
I gotta tell you, these engineers, they're smart, man. I'm just a dumb fisherman, but the engineers are very, very smart. They are.
It's well designed. It feels really good.
It's awesome, really.
And sizes you have,
We've got it from a 10 up to a 40. So 10 would be ultralight size.
1,000.
Yeah.
From competitors.
Competitor would be the 1,000. 20 or 30 would be your medium, and then that 40 size is a sleeper. Don't think the 40 size is a light saltwater size. The 40 size to me I use in freshwater. The great thing about it is I can get a lot of line on a 40 without overfilling the spool, and that's key to line twist, right? You always want to leave 1/8 of an inch of that spool empty so you don't get line twist.
Or for the 40, you could use it for some of the guys up north, big northerns.
Big northerns, walleye,
yeah.
a lot of multi-species.
Yep.
And if you're loaded and you're a millionaire, you could buy 40s and have them just laying all over the house. I use mine as paperweights. I've used them in the back gardening.
Toilet paper dispenser.
Toilet paper dispenser. Think about it.
Dental floss dispenser.
Absolutely. Think about it.
Yeah, you could do that.
Think about it. Blender, making margaritas. Think about it.
You could do that, yeah.
Think about it.
Awesome. This is nice reels.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.